Hey folks, it's Chris again. I thought I would do a couple reviews on books that I've cherished. And this is a first edition 1947 book by Loomis. I think I paid $185 for. Today it's back in print, and I thought you should know this. And I think it's $25 or $35, and we'll have the links below in the show notes. So Loomis's book called Creative Illustration by me has been marked up and highlighted quite a bit. Now, he's an illustrator, so what does an illustrator have to do with fine art? Well, he tells a story, and he knows how to evoke the mood to tell the story. And this is a fantastic book. What happened with this book, I found out something that was kind of very interesting. I don't want to put myself in the category of these people, so I don't know how to say this, so I'll put it another way. It just so happened I read this book, but it gave me comfort knowing that Clyde Asbig, who can get $1 million a painting, and Howard Turtning, who can get $1 million a painting, and Don DeMere is one of the great maritime painters in the country, and Richard Smith, and the list of the top artists in the world. Some passed away, some are older in age, and all share one thing in common: Loomis's creative illustration. So I just thought, it's a book I've read 3 or 4 times. I've marked the living daylights out of it. I destroy my books. And it is one of the few books that I have received so much information on. I'm hoping that this information is new to you. If not, maybe it's just a great review. And I valued it, and I thought maybe you would like to know, because there's so many books out there, and I would start with this one before I did anything else. Creative Illustration by Loomis. The other book is really for the person who is kind of like my wife, well, and maybe like me. I mean, I'm a rule follower, and my wife doesn't know what the rules are, being a creative artist that she is, but someone has to know what to do in what order and protect it from falling off on the ground. Ray Smith's Artist Handbook is a great book where it goes into everything you might need to know on different products and what to do and why. And I have probably purchased, I was just looking at how you fix a rip, and then I put the recipe on the back so I would know how to do it with the iron and the Damar varnish. So I probably purchased almost every handbook out there because I have an art school with a couple hundred students a week, and therefore I feel obligated to know. So every time a new manual comes out, I buy it, I look through it. I still think this is a great book. And off the subject, I didn't bring the book. Ray Smith's book on perspective drawing is outstanding. It's not as complicated as D'Amelio's book, but it's just outstanding. So I would get the 2 books by Ray Smith. And then The Story of Art. Gosh, Gombrech's book, I don't know if this is true or not. I thought I read that only the Bible had published more copies of it than this book. This has been in every language in the world. Basically, I ad-libbed that a little bit, maybe exaggerated, but it's an incredible book. It reads as a novel, and ever since reading this book, walking the museum chronologically has been so beneficial for me. I've had all the art history classes. Remember, I've been in school for 12 years for college. Basically, what Gombrech introduced me to was make up something. In the 13th century, gold leaf was just gold leaf with some paint. In the 1350s, it was gold leaf with some paint and a little pattern. In the 1400s, it was gold leaf, a little paint, pattern, and a little texture. And each 50 years, they took a part of the last period with them while they added something new. There was never a leapfrog where it was too far out of the norm, too strange. It was always a subtle step. Okay, I took something from the past, I added to it. Something from the past. And it sort of goes through that book. It's just an outstanding book. There has been some drawback from people in my class in the beginning of the book when you're talking about Greek and Roman art. So when we were going to Italy as a class recently, I wanted to know more about certain things in Florence. So I skipped the Greek and Roman art, and I started with the 12th century art. And the only problem with that is he would always refer back to the Greek, which I skipped. So if you could kind of somehow sludge through the part that some people aren't interested in and others will love, then, I think you'll love the book. If you have to, like me, you can skip the Greek and start at the 12th century, but you don't want to skip that. You want to start there with the paintings and see how it is. Because vase-shaped paintings are things that are used in art today. I mean, it's kind of nice to know that it was thousands of years ago that was really invented in what it does. So those are my product reviews on some books. If you're interested in trying to find or locate any of these, we'll have the links under in the show notes at the bottom. And if you want to see how we paint our way through the history of art, which is the class we've had, what was taught with each principle, each concept, then we're having that soon on our website at artsecretsstudio.com. We look forward to you joining us.